And we're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal, and I'm joined by the she-wolf empress of gore, Cindy Sanabria. It's good to have you back.
Thank you, Neal. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, so we're here. Well, you have the shirt on, first of all. Horror tour guide, of course.
The tour guide, people. It's part of one of the perks.
Oh, cool. Of the new documentary Horror Able, which is sounds very cool, and you'll be better explaining what it's about than I would.
Right. Well, Horror Able is an experimental documentary about horror creatives with disabilities. So it's set out to raise awareness and stress the importance of inclusivity and accessibility in our industry. And as you already know, I'm a huge advocate for inclusivity. So this kind of goes along the lines of my mission.
I saw that it hit its goal, which is great.
Yeah, we still have like 12 days left on the campaign. Yeah. We're in the now. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean, people can't still donate because always make, do more stuff with the documentary.
Well, there's so much more, there's so much more that we can do with the investment funds. I put it at the bare minimum.
Right.
But obviously, yes, if you want to donate, you still can. You still could grab a hold of the perks. You still could take advantage of being a part of this mission and supporting you. There's still a few perks left with credits for people that want to be a part of the film. And the money still is going towards the film. And it's just going to be, we'll be able to have more money to do more things, like more marketing materials, more festivals we could submit to, we're looking to hire a PR person to help with our, publicity, try to a marketing campaign. Because we really want it out there. So, so.
Well, that's a good sign though, with 12 days left, and it shows that people are interested.
Yes. Thank you so much for everybody that donated, shared, contributed. Thank you. We appreciate you. I appreciate you.
So, when did you first think of, making this specific documentary?
It was about 2 years ago. Actually, this is what I call my quarantine project, because I had started it when we couldn't get out, and it was like everybody kind of had like cabin fever, and I was like, we were like, doing all these like stuff online, and it was coming. I was curious. It was something that I, being a part of, with the horrors, and I have family that's that has disabilities. My sister primarily, she's one of the people that I'm dedicating this documentary to, has a neurological disorder, and and she's part of my inspiration for this film. And I just feel like, people with disabilities are underrepresented in our community. And I just feel like everybody should have, their chance to shine. And I feel like we're suppressing a lot of good stories by doing that,
Yeah.
So, and a little bit helps. Yeah. I believe
a couple of things there is, first of all, obviously the shutdown isn't good. But I did see a lot of creativity that came out of that, because people had to think of different things to do.
Right. And that's hence the reason why this experimental thing took place. And actually, if it wasn't for the pandemic, it probably would have taken me, it took me over a year to get in touch with Michael Berryman alone, just for the project. And that was on quarantine. Right. So he was apparently still working, but I was able to get him because he had more time available. So just imagine, it has been, but it's been a wonderful experience. And, all the wonderful people I've met, everybody a part of the documentary it's just been a great experience. So I thank everybody for this journey.
Yeah. Michael Berryman's a great guy. So I'm excited that he's part of it.
Yeah.
I saw William Crane's also part of it. Another really cool guy.
Yeah, William Crane speaks about like ageism and how that affects, and his effect with like his experience with ageism and disability. And, so there's a lot of very interesting perspectives on the documentary. And I hope, there's something for everybody there. Definitely. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. Like, these people are freaking amazing, and, they need to be celebrated.
Yeah. So was everyone on board right away? Like when you approach him, I know you said it took a while for Michael Berryman, but that was because he's busy because he's in all kinds of stuff. But was everyone like excited to be a part of this?
For the most part, yeah, I had a very good a lot of people did. Once in a blue moon, I did face people that didn't feel comfortable with me, which is understandable because I don't have a disability. So I had people not feeling comfortable with, divulging, information to me or because it is personal that they have to speak about their disabilities and stuff. So, and I completely understood that, if obviously everybody that's a part of it is because they wanted to be on it, you know what I mean? I didn't want to guilt trip somebody, or I wasn't name dropping, even when I was working with Michael Berryman, like during the interview process. Once in a blue moon, I would have people before they, when I'm just sending out inquiries, well, who's on it? And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter who's on it. It's
Right.
do you support the cause? Do you want your story to be, told, So little things like that. But for the most part, I would say everybody else was just a joy to, it was a joyful experience. But, you're going to hit a little bumps along the road, and that's okay. But I feel like a big part of that is because of the fear that people may have behind how other people may interpret their disabilities. And they may feel that they feel that if you're not a person with a disability, then you can't relate somehow. But which is why everybody that's on a documentary, I basically told them the reason why. And I asked them to ask me questions like, I want you to feel 100% comfortable, with me doing this. You know what I mean? I don't, I'm not trying to exploit anybody. It's for them. People that know me know I have a history of writing, and doing projects, that do support, things that I stand for, so it's really more like, they knew, all the people that came on board knew that, that we're all on board for the same reason, and so.
It seems to me that especially the independent horror community is really about a lot of these things, about being inclusive. And I think that they're ahead of the curve on a lot of this stuff before it blows up.
What do you mean?
The horror community itself.
Well, I know, like, maybe from in some cases, it really all depends on your perspective, because I have people that don't feel that way. They feel like they're not being represented correctly in horror. And, and I mean, some people really celebrate it. I guess it really is all depending on the way you think about it. I know that I've kind of changed my viewpoint on how I perceive certain characters now in horror movies and stuff, because this was a learning experience for me too, and movies that I didn't even think that would affect somebody personally with a disability, and it's like, oh, okay, so while I love horror and I am a diehard horror fan and horror filmmaker, I'm moving forward as a filmmaker. Even I'm more mindful of certain things that I'm going to be doing, in terms of,
So did you talk to some of the people how they felt about like some characters in horror movies that were to say maybe the actors weren't, but like the characters were?
Yeah. Well, everybody on here loves horror, and and some of them actually identify with some of the horror characters, some of them actually, while some may feel that maybe they're not being exactly represented correctly in the horror industry, there's a lot that feel that they are, and that they do. And so there's this one character, well, I can't say character because she's not a character, she's a person. But like the character she spoke about was Freddie. And she kind of identified with that character. I don't want to give too much away about that, but in a positive way, because she felt like that was the only thing she kind of identified with in Hollywood. That was something that she could see that was on television, that was close, the closest thing that she connected with in terms of that, you know what I mean? And she was okay with that, because that's kind of like what opened up her world to her life to horror, you know what I mean? And then now, later on, now she's, a horror creator. So yeah, there's other characters that have been mentioned, and how, and how it's either they feel like it's good for them or not so good, or, so it's a lot of perspectives, a lot of different, angles, but we all love horror. We all celebrate it, So yeah, we just want to see small changes, not major.
Carrie Yates in the chat room, and this isn't horror, but she brought up Rain Man and saying, that, a lot of people then thought that's how all autistic people, act.
Right. That's a primary example of what I was trying to say. Thank you, Carrie, for that. Because, like, in horror too, you have characters that are represented to look like, something, or, and then people kind of associate, if that's the only education that they have on that condition or whatever, then you're misrepresenting that, condition, that disability. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was gonna say. So, like in Rain Man.
Yeah. So how far along is this? Because I assume you've actually recorded some of the interviews.
Yeah, it's pretty much done. We're kind of like at the tail end of the documentary. Right now we're just waiting for the campaign to close so we're working on the animation portion, which has been like, we've been working on that for over a year. So there's a lot of like, it's going to be a very fun and unique, take on it. I really think, the guys, my production team, I'm very thankful for them. My editor and my animator, my editor, Stephen Heinig, and my editor, Thomas Ludina. I wanted to give them a little shout out because they're very hard workers. And so during this time, he's been working on the animation, but once we get the funds and they're going to start working on the editing. I mean, they've already started, but you know what I mean? It's like they haven't, the real it's a big process. They've been working on it for a while. Yeah. So I'm hoping that we have a finished product maybe by the summer, sometime in the summer.
Sweet. Yeah. Because documentaries with just talking people, that's great and all, but it is nice to have some other things, like you said, like the animation in there. So it's not just, people talking.
That's a spoiler only on Neal's show.
So what are the plans to do with, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, but once it's finished, you said you hope to have it finished by the summer. What would you hope to do with it? Is it going to go to festivals? Would you want to get distributed, go to a streaming site?
Yes, because we're already like kind of like at the tail end of like post-production, like we're kind of like in the middle of it while we're raising funds. That's why it's so important. So like, if you want to keep donating, please do, because it gives the film a chance to be seen at more places, more venues, more festivals. That's part of the whole finishing funds process. So we're looking to raise money to do that. The overall goal is overall goal for the film is to be seen in by as many viewers as possible. So the overall goal is to kind of get it on like a streaming network, and so a distribution deal. So if anybody's out there and is interested, serious, Netflix, HBO, let me know.
That's a good thing about the rise of the streaming networks, though, because they all need content, and so that's just more places for creative people to hopefully get their things seen and other platforms.
Great, that would be great. Well, they definitely, it could be viewed. They definitely have the capability to get it out to more people, So yeah.
And also it's the Indiegogo. I'll put the link in the description here. So what are some of the cool perks that are still available?
Horror Able at Indiegogo. I think we still have there is one of the two last perks that we put up. There was the so there's a credit perk, so you can receive a credit in the film. That's a featured perk right now, and I think someone just grabbed the second one of that. It was 2 out of 10, so there's still 8 available, guys. And then we still have the digital teaser trailer perk, which will kind of give you like a more in-depth look at the documentary. So there's already like a trailer already attached to the campaign, but this one is like a deeper dive into it. So you see the people speaking and they all have like key things to say. So it kind of like grabs you in. It's a trailer that makes you want to watch the film. And it also gives you a better idea of the content of the film. Because I have friends that support me, but really don't like horror. And, hey, Cindy, no, but it's just a horror project. I'm like, well, yeah, it is, but it's not really, because it's really about the people, not so much. I mean, yes, it's about the horror genre, but it's really about the people, the creatives with the disabilities. So you're really supporting them, and this is what they want to do. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, I guess and so that being said, I try to make it a trailer where everybody could see. So it's like not, it doesn't start where people are getting decapitated. You know what I mean? So it's a safe watch for everybody, even children.
Yeah.
Minus the blood drops in the beginning. Spoiler.
Yeah, I saw Adrian Esposito was one of the people who donated to become a producer. Get a credit. Adrian's a great guy. I know him from Buffalo Dreams Fantastic Film Festival, and for people who don't know, he's an autistic filmmaker. He's made some great documentaries and just made his first feature film.
He's in Horror Able.
Oh, excellent!
Shout out. Yeah, actually, that he had reached it was funny because he got the producer credit too, and I said, Adrian, you're already in the film. you're in the film, you have a credit. And it was just that his manager and him, they discussed, and they wanted to he wanted the production credit in the film. So
yeah, I can understand that this would be special to him, because he did his own document. He's done several. I've been one of his documentaries. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Which one? Yeah,
Reed Unbound, about Joel Reed, who made Blood Sucking Freaks.
Oh, nice.
Different movie.
I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I've watched a few of his films. I love actually there's a documentary that's closely related to the same topic. No spoilers, because it's gonna promote for him. Oh, well, differability in Hollywood. So just to give him a shout out for his project. But yeah, so he speaks about his experience too, and he's a great example of what I'm trying that I want people to know more about.
His feature film, Clowns in the Woods, he uses.
Really, it wasn't a bad film, right? It's good.
I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
We did it. Yeah.
I really think it was well written, and I told her, I was like, wow, way to go. So I'm a big fan of Adrian's too. He knows that. He knows, especially in his documentary. I was like, wow, in one of his documentaries, I was like, he's telling me, oh wow, you got Michael and Michael Berryman in your project. And I said, oh wow, you got Jamie Brewer in yours. Like I want the Horror Able, Jamie Brewer is a horror actress with Down syndrome. For those of you that don't know, she was in American Horror Story. She was in season 1 and season 3. And I think she has such a bubbly personality, and she's so vivacious, and she's very busy young lady. And, all her accolades are well-deserved and well-earned, but she was definitely somebody that I did want to get on this documentary, and I wasn't able to. So who knows in the future where Horror Able may go,
Yeah.
Start here, as like I'm hoping that it'll be definitely a trending thing. We definitely need to get the word out more on these creatives, because there's really great people in this industry that, you can't be sleeping on, man.
Exactly. So the Indiegogo campaign, is there also a website or a social media page for it?
Well, the website is part of the finishing funds. We're gonna use some of that money to get the cost together for an official home for Horror Able. So that's not up yet, but we do have it up on we just launched a Facebook group last week, and the Instagram is actually launching, should be launching this week too, if it hasn't already. I have to check that with my web guy, but we definitely have the campaign is on Indiegogo at Horror Able, 2 words, because I noticed that sometimes in a search, if you put it together, you won't find it, but if you put it together, so Horror Able, you'll find us on Facebook. And I really encourage anybody that's not on Facebook, that's on Facebook, but that hasn't joined Horror Tour Guide. I have a very special announcement this Friday. We have a live with Warrington Hudlin, which is the writer, director, producer of Boomerang and House Party and films like that. And he reached out to me because he was blown away by the, the mission of the campaign, and he wanted to support the cause as well. And he invited me to do, and he's hosting a my crowdfunding campaign on the metaverse. So it's going to be the first ever crowdfunder on the metaverse. So I'm very excited, and I invited everybody to join us on Friday. He's going to come speak about that and show you guys how to sign up for your avatar. It's free. It's a free site that you go to, and it's really not. I mean, Warrington has a lot of connections and networks. So there's always they have all kind of film critique forums in there. There's a lot to get out of it, not just for my campaign. I'm just a one-day event, but it's an ongoing thing. So you guys could explore the rooms and explore the metaverse. You don't necessarily need that little Oculus set either. If you have
right. Yeah. That sounds wild. This is beyond me, the metaverse, but I know I forget with the times, but yeah.
Well, I'm trying to show off for horror.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Nothing but the best for horror able. But really, it was just a lot of people reached out to me to help me promote it, right? And he was one of the people that did, and and I'm thankful to him for that. And so yeah, come join us next Monday in the metaverse at wewatchtogether.us. If you can't make it to Facebook or Horror Tour Guide on Facebook to hear us talk, then definitely meet me next Monday at 7 p.m. at wewatchtogether.us. That's where we're launching our crowdfunding event, and our campaign. That's like the final countdown event. So everybody that's interested in watching that special extended, teaser trailer that we have for the film that's not made public, you'll be able to watch it there, only there aside from unless you're like a per contributor for those categories.
Right. And this is your first film that's under your new production company, Bloodstained Films.
Not really. I made I made a film, but it's kind of like I'm trying to resurface. I guess it would be like the first feature or the first documentary. Then yes.
Okay.
But like the first film was Haunted Red, and it was a thesis film in like 2009 when I went to City College, and it was basically paying homage to Edgar Allan Poe's A Telltale Heart.
Oh, nice.
It's about a man that's obsessed with his wife's red hair, and it drives him to murder. But it has like the same, it's written in prose, and there's repetition. It kind of follows the same format. I'm a huge Poe fan, so yeah. Oh,
very cool. I would like to check. Is that anywhere people can watch?
Yeah, it's on. If you guys are interested in watching, you can come to my YouTube channel. I really don't promote that. I got like maybe 78 followers in it. Nobody knows me in the YouTube universe, but Horror Tour Guide, yes. It may be on Horror Tour. Yes, I believe it is on Horror Tour Guide. I believe one of our editors put it up there. So Haunted Red, and if not, you could follow me, Cindy Sanabria, on YouTube, and you will find it there as well. It's called Haunted Red.
Well, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah.
2011, maybe. I'll find a link for you. I'll send it over.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'd like to check it out. Yeah. And I'm really interested in Horror Able, and Trista couldn't be here tonight, but I know she's interested in it too.
I know I wanted to thank her personally because she, I reached out to her and she was able to get a hold of you. So thank you.
I'm very bad sometimes with messages, so I'm sorry if people.
Oh no, don't feel bad. I get that way too. We get very forgetful. We get overwhelmed with everything that we do, because I'm not just working on Horror Able.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I feel you.
It's a weird name to shout out, but they send some super chat here for us. But Princess Unicorn Nipples, we thank you for the support. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I always feel weird saying that name, but they help support the site, so I appreciate it.
Thank you, Unicorn Nipples.
Yeah. Princess Unicorn Nipples, not just plain old unicorn. Right.
That's like the creme de la creme of unicorn.
It is. It's very important. Yeah. And so I'll put up the Indiegogo link, and people check out Horror Able, and I'm very excited to see it.
Thank you. And you can come on the Horror Tour Guide, www.horrortourguide horrorable.com, and you'll find updates and announcements for Horrorable there as well. At all the podcasts, you'll find Neal's podcast on. So you'll find his show there, and everybody else that's that's created, links and stuff for me to post based on inviting me on their shows. So some of them, I haven't had any footage because they were like live, whatever. But the ones that do, if you want cross promo, send it to me, and everybody else could come there and see updates and hear a podcast and everything, and get the latest. And thank you guys so much for bringing me to my goal so far. And guys, I encourage you to continue to donate, still take advantage of those perks. You could still get in on, being on the support. Come be a part of our Horrorable on Facebook. And once our, the rest of our social media is up and running, our sites and everything like that, for that, it's basically like the place to be. And the Horrorable group also, we celebrate people that are Horrorable. So it's a good way to get educated too on people that aren't, in the documentary, that are in the horror industry, that do, have disabilities, and you learn about their amazing projects and stuff like that. So it's an ongoing platform to celebrate creatives, and I'm thankful for it, because actually, since we launched it, it's already like about 400 people, and there's a lot of people with disabilities already that have come forward, it's, and said, either their disability and what they do. And I'm very happy about that. And I've had people inbox me, a lot of people with disabilities, horror creatives are coming out now with this project. So that's another thing that I'm very excited about, because I noticed that it is, starting to create a buzz.
Yeah, no, that's great. And, people might think, oh, maybe I can't succeed in horror movies because I have, whatever. And then they watch us and they see people who've done it, and, motivates them that, it doesn't matter. I could, I can still, do what I love to do.
Right. You could do it, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Neal. Thank you.
Thank you, Sydney. And we'll do this again when the movie's about to come out.
Yes. I'll keep you posted.
All right. Very cool. It's always good to see you.
Likewise. Stay scary.
All right. Very good. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.